Good morning, all of you. Welcome to zoology class. Today the topic is vermiculture. Vermis means worms, culture means growth. Means vermiculture means growing worms. Which worms? These are earthworms. Okay, that is called vermiculture. Composting is done with the help of earthworms is known as vermicompost. That is what they do. These earthworms, they do decomposition process. Okay. So after decomposition, whatever is formed is called vermicompost. Okay. This vermicompost mainly comprises of worm feces, worm castings. Okay. Then, sorry for the disturbance. Vermicompost mainly consists of water soluble nutrients, and it is a nutrient rich organic fertilizer and a soil conditioner. It is used in farming and small scale sustainable organic farming. Of course, we will discuss in detail later on. I am just giving you introduction. Okay. Vermicomposting is also applied for treatment of sewage also. Okay. So earthworms are also known as friends of farmers. Their habitats, nutrition, reproduction, different earthworms differ. Hence need to select proper species for the given need. Okay, there are many types of earthworms are present. Okay. Habits and habitat found everywhere except sandy soil and soil deficient in humus. Found in upper layers of slightly damp soil. 1 acre of land equal to 50,000 earthworms on an average. Okay. Then nutrition. They feed on dead organic matter. Secretions of intestinal tract release the plant nutrients in simple forms in the form of castings. These castings contains 5 to 11 times of available nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Then reproduction. These are hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodites means both sexes are present in single organism, but there is copulation between two earthworms, means cross fertilization. Self fertilization never happen. So fertilization and development is inside a cocoon. Summer is the reproductive season. Cocoons laid from August to October. Young one hatches out of the cocoon in 2 to 3 weeks. Now we will study the types of earthworms what we use for vermicompost. First one is red worms, Lumbricus rubellus, which is medium sized earthworm. It cannot survive in ordinary garden and farm soils. It can thrive well in manure piles and compost heaps. Very useful in indoor culture because time required for composting is less. Turning the heap is not required. These are red earthworm. Scientific name is Lumbricus rubellus. Okay, its approximate length is 10 centimeters, means a small scale size. Okay, next second type is field worms. Allolobophora caliginosa, which is a medium sized earthworm, attack compost heaps and manure piles from the bottom, mix and turn the earth with organic matter and then retreat to the soil. Cannot thrive in active compost and killed more easily than red and brandling worms. Reproduction rate is very high and very fast. That's why these worms also chosen for vermicompost. See the diagram of these earthworms. Okay. Then night crawlers. Scientific name is Lumbricus terrestris. These are large sized. They attack manure piles and compost heaps from the bottom and then retreat into the soil. Prefer cool soil, therefore do not enter compost and manure piles. If they are forced to live in a active compost, they will die and melt. So these are night crawlers. Next one is branding worms. Eisenia foetida and Eisenia andrew. These are also used medium sized, large sized, medium to large size, high growth, high reproductive rate. Also used as fish bait. Cannot produce about 400 kg nitrogen rich compost per hectare per year. Okay. These are Eisenia foetida and Eisenia andreae. Okay. Next one is Ferritima, common large sized earthworm. Most common species in India is Ferritima posthuma. Their requirements are similar to those of night crawlers and field worms. In the place of night crawlers and field worms, we use this Ferritima. These are also soil living species. In many textbooks, we will study these earthworms. Okay. Materials for culturing compost or vermiculture: garbage, leaves, banana residue, shredded bark, sawdust, wood shavings, citrus waste, baggies and fish scrap. The materials which should not be used: waste from birds, dogs, cats, human feces, bird droppings are sources of diseases, highly acidic materials, diseased plants, toxic materials, plant debris from roadside. If we use them, then these earthworms will die. So we should not use these materials in the compost. Types and methods of vermiculture. Bins. A container made up of brick or wood or concrete. Bin should be located in a shady place near a garden or kitchen. Bins may be of different types: Lehengi type, KG type, block and brick, etc. See, this is simple bin made of wood. Lehengi type of bin also you can see here. Okay. Lehengi type of bins: logs or poles or woods, constructed by drilling out corners of rods or logs and fixing them with 4 rods at the corner. Rods on adjacent sides are placed alternatively, long lasting, easy to erect, portable, and provides proper ventilation and protection. Next is cage type, box type, constructed with the help of wood and wire mesh. It is inexpensive, simple to build, allow good circulation of air and are portable. See, this is cage type. You can see here on the top no cover, so airable. Next, block and brick type, constructed by cementing the bricks or by just placing the cement blocks or bricks without fixing, may be permanent or movable. See, this is brick bin. Here in between this also the space is present. Okay. Next, cages, also called pens, simple type made of woven wire fencing, constructed by bringing both ends of fencing together to form a cylinder. Cylinder is filled with waste organic matter, and when it is half full, a stick or post is driven into the pile. This stick helps in maintaining the shape of the pile and also in directing water in the heap. Okay, see, these are cages or pens, movable pen, which can be easily taken to another place. Next is indoor heap method. Heap is height of 12 to 18 inches, centimeters, made up of finely shredded material. Manure type of earthworms introduced first, so they start their activities right away without heating up the heap greatly. Night crawlers penetrate only bottom layer. Field worms spread to the middle and bottom layer. Red and branding worms occur throughout the 3 layers. Earthworm should be introduced after a while so that intense heat doesn't kill them instantaneously. Okay. The temperature at the beginning may reach up to 66 degrees centigrade. Hence, introduction of the earthworm should be done after 2 to 3 weeks. After the heap cools down, holes should be dug, and 50 to 100 earthworms should be dropped in each hole. About 1000 earthworms should be sufficient to inoculate a 4 by 6 foot pile. After a few days, earthworms will begin consuming the organic matter and leave rich castings behind. An important aspect of this method is maintenance of earthworm population. Only half of the heap should be removed so that remainder can be served as the base of a new heap. Okay, see the diagram of heap showing different species of earthworm place themselves in different layers on indoor heap. It is having top layer, middle layers and bottom layer. In the bottom layer you can see red worms, then brandling worms, night crawlers, field worms. In the middle layers, red worm, branding worms, field worms, red worms again it came. The uppermost layer, brandling worms and red worms. Okay, this is a indoor type of heap. It is most commonly used in India. Okay. Use of earthworm. as a fish bait. It is used for sewage sludge management. Earlier also I told you. Okay, for the treatment of industrial waste, reclamation of land with the help of earthworms, use of earthworms as food for animals and humans. Another advantages, vermicompost is a rich source of nutrients, vitamins, enzymes, antibiotics and growth of hormones. So it gives disease resistant plants. Nutrient content of vermicompost is higher than traditional compost. It is valuable soil amendment. Vermicompost harbors certain microbial populations that help in nitrogen fixation and phosphorus solubilization. Its application enhances nodulation in legumes and symbiotic mycorrhizal associations with these roots. Superiority of vermicompost over other synthetic growth media is more pronounced in plant nurseries. It can be used as rooting medium and for establishment of saplings in nurseries. It improves taste, luster and keeping the quality of produce. It has immobilized enzymes like protease, lipase, amylase, cellulase and chitinase, which keep on their function of biodegradation of agriculture residues in the soil, so that further microbial attack is speed up. It doesn't have foul odor as it is associated with manures and decaying organic waste. Benefits of vermiculture: production of vermicompost, increase in agriculture production, greater recycler of plant nutrients, reduction of chemical fertilizer, recycling of waste, drought protection, stoppage of erosion, neutralization of toxins. Okay, nutrient content of this vermicompost: organic carbon 9.15 to 17.98%, total nitrogen 1.5 to 2.10%, total phosphorus 1.0 to 1.50%, total potassium 0.60%, calcium magnesium 22 to 70 mE per 100 gram, available sulfur 128 to 548 parts per million, copper 100 parts per million, iron 1800 parts per million, zinc 50 parts per million. NPK content in basic manure in percentage: vermicompost 2.1 to 2.6, farmyard manure 1.1 to 1.5, bacterial compost 1.2 to 1.5. Potassium percentage: 1.5 to 1.7 of vermicompost, 0.7 to 0.8 of farmyard manure, 0.7 to 0.9 bacterial compost. Of course, we did not discuss about this farmyard manure and bacterial compost. We only require vermicompost. Potassium is 1.4 to 1.6. Favorable conditions for earthworms in composting material: pH should be 6.5 to 7.5. Okay, acidic to basic. Moisture is 60 to 70% of the moisture below and above the range of mortality of worms taking place. Aeration 50% aeration from the total pore space. Temperature range between 18 degrees centigrade to 35 degrees centigrade. Natural enemies for these earthworms are ants, termites, centipedes, rats, pigs, birds, etc. Preventive measures include treating the site with 4% neem-based insecticides before filling the heap. Okay. Then precautions. Do not do not cover compost beds or heaps with plastic sheets because it traps the heats and gases. Do not overload the vermicompost heap to avoid high temperature that adversely affect their population. Population is earthworm population. Dry conditions kill the worms and waterloggings drive them away. Watering should be done daily in summer and every third day in rainy winter seasons. Addition of higher quantities of acid-rich substances such as tomatoes and citrus waste should be avoided. Make a drainage channel around the heap to avoid stagnation of water, particularly in a high rain areas in rainy season. Organic materials used for composting should be free from non-degradable materials such as stones, glass pieces, plastic, ceramics, bulbs, etc. Okay. So this is about the vermicompost. You may find another types of composting forms. Okay, bed method, sheet method are also present, but those are in large scales. Business, for the business purpose they are used. Those may be explained through different videos for you people. Okay, thank you for listening my class.